In our last video, we have discussed about how you can create the viewports, and using the viewport, how you can create the subpages, and you can create the multiple subpages depending on your requirement. So today we are talking about the designing part. So this is my portal page, and we are trying to build similar kind of component like that. So left side, we are going to build all these categories, and then whenever you will select any of this category, related catalog item should be displayed at that right side. So that's what our goal is. So let's try to build that. So this is our actual pages, the category pages. First we'll try to put a header called category. So we'll copy this one, and then left side I'm going to add one more call as regular I used call stylized text. So I'll use that, and then I'll select the configuration is none, and then put that category. So this is our first component. Then after that I want to add multiple categories. So these are the category I want to add. How we can get this category? To get simply category, you have to go to this sc_catalog table. So this is the catalog table where all this catalog are there, and then if we go to this service catalog specifically, you will be able to see that all this category 39 category are there. And then let's say that if I tell that the parent is empty, so you'll around 14 is category is there, and then if we show match as active true, we'll see around 12 category are there. So we want to show this 12 category into the left side, and once we click this 12 category one by one, their related content items should be visible to the right side. So that's our goal is that. So let's see how we can get these 12 categories. Simply we'll do a data resources and then do a lookup. So we'll click here data resources, then look up multiple records, then click add. The table should be it should be immediate. The table should be sc_category. So we'll put that sc_category. And then we will put some filter. So what should be the filter? The filter should be sc catalog equal to our service catalog, parent is empty, and then active equal to true. So let's put that. So this way it should give me around 12 data. So let's see, previously it was 57, now you can see that result count is showing 12. So that is correct. So 12 we are expecting. So we'll just click that, got it, and then I will close that. So this way we'll get that 12 data. Then after that we are going to add one more component. So I'll add one more component called add after, and then I will add the repeater here so that we can repeat and then show that data. So we'll select the repeater, and then in the repeater context we'll select none, and then from where this repeater should be work, this repeater should be works from these data resources. 12 data we have, so this 12 data should be applied to this repeater. We'll click apply. So what will be happen, the 12 repeater will be works, and then inside the repeater for the time being I'm not going to do some styling. So I'll say that the button, I'll show the button. So we'll add this button component, and then the configuration is none. All right, then what should be the label? This label should be come from each repeater, because repeater will do like a kind of for loop. So we'll get this data from repeater. So we'll select that. As you can see, if we select the repeater, it's showing the value and then title and then display. It's showing me at all these values. So we'll click OK and then save that. So we have changes a little bit. Let's see it is working or not. So if we go back here, then click that our demo workspace, and then click this category page. So left side all these categories should be visible. You can see these all category are showing, but they are not in a single line. So let's do that. To do single line, we'll add so this way you can see sometime you can see the two buttons are placed in a single row. We don't want, so we want to each row should have one button. So let's see. So as you can see, each row have some one button. So these all are working perfectly fine. Now it could be better or it could be nice if we don't add these buttons. Those things we'll do the later, but you can see all these our category are visible right now. Now whenever we click this category, related content items should be visible, right? So let's do that. So this stuff is done, so we need to be work on that viewport. So we'll go to this viewport and then we'll open this page. So let's open this page, sub page. So now we can see that under this sub page we have two pages, and then category content page is the page where all this content supposed to be visible. So let's do that. So this page have a one ID. You can see this is the ID. This is expecting we actually this is the category ID. So if we go back here, call SC category. Yeah. So this is SC category. Let's say that if I selected one of these category called office, so office related all this catalog items should be visible. So you can see under this office we have 6 catalog item. These 6 catalog items should be visible. So this is the office sysID. So right click, copy sysID, and then we will put this office sysID. And then once we put this office sysID, office related catalog item should be visible, right? So for that, what we have to do, you can see that in the left side we have any inherited data resource. Inherited data resource is nothing but the parent page data resources. Like this is the category page we have done. You can see SC category, and this is a read only because we are inheriting that. And this is the local data resources. Local data resources means that this is sub page data resources. So how we'll get this catalog item? So we have to query to the SC cat item table with this category sysID. Once we get that, we'll get this catalog item details, right? So let's do that. So we'll go back here, then we'll click that add under this local data source resources. We'll click here, then we'll select the lookup multiple records, click add, then the table name should be SC underscore cat underscore item. So this is the catalog item we are looking for. So we'll select that. Then we should put some condition. What should be the condition? The condition should be call active is true, and then you can see that category should be this one. So we'll put that category. Now this should be dynamic. We cannot directly fetch or set that. So how we'll get the dynamically? We'll get we are getting as a parameter, so that should be under page parameter. So we'll click here dynamic binding, and then we have a page properties. Under the properties you can see properties, properties, and then here the ID. This is the ID of the category, or you can say the page parameter ID. We'll select, double click, and then apply that, and then click apply. Now previously this was 245. Now you can see that it have around 5 catalog item. Within the 5, 1 is the active false. So within the 6, 1 is the active false. So total 5 catalog item is there. That 5 catalog item is actually representing. Now in the return field we can put that call name. We can select the name. Okay, so these 4 fields needed. If you click that, expand any of these result, you can see description, name, short description, all these are presenting right now. So we'll close this. Now we have to represent here, right? To represent that, what we'll do, we'll add a component called repeater as usual to repeat whole thing as a for loop, configure none, and then will dynamically binding to these data resources, lookup multiple to result 5. We'll click OK. So this will apply, or this will run 5 times, and then inside that we will add container. So we will say that cart container. So we'll add that. We'll select none. You can see 5 container are actually added. Inside that we will add cart base header. So this is we have discussed what is the card base header, what is the card base container. We added that. Now here we can do something. So let's say that configure wireless security. So this is coming from and here what we'll do, we'll print our short description. So let's put that repeater value, sorry, we'll put the name display value. So this will be represent all the catalog item name. We can put the description, but description could have the HTML, so we'll put something called HTML something. So let's see, rich text we'll put there here, and then inside that rich text what we'll do, we'll change to dynamically should come from repeater value description and then display value. This should become, and you can see I can change to here to show this description nicely, and that's it. I don't want to put much details see here, and in this 4000 series router that I want to delete. So what I will do here, I will go to this card base container header and then edit, delete this one. Okay, and this one we could have changed style, but that's it. I'm not changing anything. So we are showing the short description and description. Let's see if we go here under this category and refresh there. Let's see this. So you can see that it's showing the category short description, little bit hazy, but it's showing actually whatever we are looking for. So it's showing the item description and catalog item. So what is the next step? The next step is that whenever we'll click any of this button, it should update, and what has to be done, it should call this page, our category page, with the parameter, and then that should reflect our all these catalog item. So how can we do that? The first thing is that whenever this button will be clicked, we should grab the sysID of this category. So we should call, or we should click this button. Let's say I am clicking this button, we should grab this sysID, right? So let's do that. How can we do that? We'll go to this our actual page, and in this button we'll click here. In this button we are going to click this event, and then under this event, under this button click, so whenever the button will be clicked, what do you want to do that? We want to call this UXF micro component view load request, and then here you can see that we have a parameter called API and event. So let's put and then we'll put that event as a parameter and see what we are receiving as a event. So let's add and then save that. So we just add it. Let's refresh that our clear all this console. Now if I click that software, you can see if I click any of this software peripheral, you can see that it's printing into the console. And if I expand that, so how we can get this sysID? We should do that context, then we should go to this item. Inside the item we have a value, under that value we have a sysID. Okay, so we have a context, item, value, then sysID. So this, so we can get the sysID of this particular category. So whatever button will be clicked, we'll get that sysID. In case if you are not able to find out the sysID or something, what you can do, we can simply go to this data lookup here, and then here make sure you added the sysID field here. So whatever field we have added, like title, sysID, those are, you can see, are coming under the value. So make sure that you added the sysID field here. Alright, so that's it. You added that sysID and you are able to fetch the sysID. So what we have to do, we have to go to context, item, value, and then from there we have to go to sysID.value. So I have noted down into our my notepad. So you can see this is my notepad. Context, item, value, sysID.value. This way I can get the sysID of this button or category sysID. Alright, so let's do that. So what we have to do here, we have to go to this editor mode here, and then in this micro component we have to update that, but you cannot update that. What you have to do, you have to simply delete that, and then we have to click add event handler. Then we'll go to this UXF, and then here we need to write something. So this is the viewport element ID. So viewport element ID is the viewport ID. So how you will get that? You can go to this viewport, and then here you will get that viewport underscore 1, that is the ID that we need to be add here. So we'll go again here. What is the ID? ID is called viewport underscore 1, that is the ID. And then which page we want to route? We want to route to this category underscore content page. So we'll get that as a route page. Now we have two fields. One is the fields, another is the parameter. What is the fields and what is the parameter? Fields is that field that is mandatory in your sub page or pages. Parameter is that component that is your optional parameter, or you can say that optional parameter in your page or sub page. So in our case, ID is optional, so we are going to put under the PRM or parameter. What is the key? Key is the ID, and what is the value? To get the value, we need to use the context.item.value.csid.value. So these things we need to do that. So we'll paste here. So this way we'll pass this context. Now before context we have to use the event.context. So we'll use that event.context. Event.context.item.value.csid.value. So this way we will get that the value of the CSID. We'll simply click add and then save that. Let's see, is it working or not? So I have just saved that, right? And then if we click here and then refresh our page, and if I click any of these, you can see it's not actually working, right? You can see it's not working. Why? Because we are initially we are passing a CSID, but whenever we are clicking here, we are calling the same page again and again. Multiple times we are calling the same page again and again, right? Because we are calling the same page. For that, there are small changes we need to be do. What we have to do? We have to open this sub page here. Open this category default page. So if you see that we have a local data resource. Under this local data resource we have a lookup multiple records. So this is calling whenever the page is loaded. So it's immediately whenever the page is loaded. So what is happening, if I click any of these, this local data resource are not get refreshed because this page is already loaded. So if I click here, those pages are already loaded. System does not know that you are calling or you are using the page first time. So I need to say that I need to tell this data lookup that whenever somebody click this button, it needs to be refreshed, right? How can I tell that? The steps is very simple. You have to go to this body section and go to this event and click add event mapping, and you can see that we have a page ready method. Whenever the page is ready, another method called page property load changes. So whenever the page property changes, what is this? This is the page property. So this property is getting changed. We want to do something. So we'll click this page property changes. What we want to do? We want to refresh these lookup multiple records. So we'll select that lookup multiple record 2 got refresh. We'll click add, and then we want to run this loader. So we'll go here, set loading state to true. So it will be click that loading, and then whenever this lookup multiple record is completed, so we'll click here. When that data fetch is success, I want to turn off this loader. So we'll go here and then set loading state turned off. Click add. That's it. So what we are doing that whenever the page property changes, we'll set loading state, and then whenever the data, and then we'll refresh this data lookup, and whenever this one is completed, the loading will be ended. Let's save, and before that we'll clear this cache. So we'll clear UI builder cache, and let's refresh their screen. If we click that business application, you can see it's got refresh and showing that. If we click the software, you can see it's refresh and showing that software related. And if we click hardware, hardware related is working. Okay, so you can see it's working perfectly fine depending on our requirement. whatever we are looking for. So this way you can call this page multiple time, do whatever is your requirement. So that's it for today. If you have any question, let me know in my comment section. Thank you very much. Have a great day.